day for you. This is what it's about. Every day is slowly adding to your repertoire. And let's look at a 5-minute pound dollar chart that I've got set up here. It's been a very strong day where the pound dollar has been constantly on the rise. The trend is definitely up, short term anyways, and you see every time it reaches one of our sell zones, it either breaks through it and then it comes back and kind of does a little bit of support, and then it goes back to the next sell zone like you see in here. Okay, see here, again, these are normally places where you could buy. Although it's in the red, the fact that the trend is strong, you could have used these levels for support, and you can see here where we went up, again broke through it, came back here, broke through it again, and then it used that area right in there again for support before it took off again. And as you can see here, it breaks through this level here again. So if you're selling here off of this level right here, which is about the 20 mark, it goes up actually about a little bit higher to the 20. And this level here was sitting at about 17. So you know, you've got a day where a lot of these sells, and I was talking about this in the room, don't necessarily work well, but once again, if you're managing things correctly, you should have been able to get out with minor damage in here, no more than a 5-point loss here, because again, let's say you did it did get away from you and you lost 8-10 points, which definitely could have happened right in here. Once more, hopefully you recognize what is happening, that at this moment in time the market is in an uptrend, and so what you do is you use these levels that was previous resistance and use it as support. As you notice here, this 20 area was probably an area to go long, and you would have had a chance to make your points. Let me show something that also sometimes, although this happened a little while ago, I'm going to show you the matrix so you can see sometimes. Here's the matrix. Look how it's using this wall right here. So let's go ahead and take 2 positions there. Again, I want to make sure we stay small since we're in coaching mode. I don't want to get into lot positions, but notice I jumped in here and I've got the auto protect that's highlighted because it's not on. I don't have it on, so I want to make sure that if it's not on, you know, it calls my attention and tells me, hey, you're in a position and you're not protected. Oh shoot, I better go and protect it. Let's go ahead and protect the order. So now, as you see here, I'm using the 1 minute. Notice you can't see the 1 minute here, because if you're trading strictly off of the 5-minute chart, notice how it broke and it recalculated much higher. The 5-minute now, it goes all the way up to 26. We had a recalculation of that. But then on the buy side, or on the next level of support, it's down here at 56. So I know that there's a chance that if I'm using the matrix, what I could not see here on the chart, on the 5-minute chart, I'm able to see here on the matrix, and I'm able to make this decision, and I know that there's a good chance the price will come back down here to the 72 area. Why? Look at your 1 minute PMDs here, 71, 72. Again, these are the extras that you get with the matrix that you can't really see just on a 5-minute chart. On a 5-minute chart, the only thing you're seeing is this price may get down here to the 50s, which is good. It could get there, okay? But sometimes you also have to stay engaged in the lower case. And in this case, let me go ahead and reduce this stop here. All right, it's a little bit too aggressive. Got to leave here about a 1 point minus on that. But this is an area that I know that market will use for possible support and try to launch this up again to my entry area. So if I'm trading this and I'm using the matrix as I'm kind of giving you the demonstration here, I know I've got to collect here something, because if I don't, I may not be able to collect anything at all before this thing, you know, runs up here into the 20. So this is why you see I've got 8 points, 7 points. I'll collect on one of those positions, and now I can leave the rest running and see if maybe the rest will get down here to the 5-minute, which is normally what you guys would be doing if you're trading just off of a 5-minute chart and you still are not up to par to be able to understand how to transition different multi-time frames and how to use the information to trade. This is kind of what you want to get to where you start understanding how to use multiple time frames to make these decisions, and at the same time be able to always put points in the bank. And this is another reason why we always say 7 to 10 points you should collect, because there's always some time frame that you're not seeing that when the market moves to, it's always 7 to 10 points away. If you don't collect there, you may find that you can't collect at all because the market may get back to your entry point and possibly even higher. So, keeping certain parameters in place, although you don't know the reasons why, we know the reasons why. We put these rules in place so that at least, even without knowing, like I said, even if you're oblivious to what's happening, you still always can be in a position of defense. And this is really what it's about. We're trying to help every trader create a good defense. As I've always said, if you followed any kind of sports, any team sports for that matter, any kind of sports, you find players that have great offenses but their defenses are really bad, or teams that have great offenses but their defense is really bad. They never win championships. In fact, sometimes unfortunately they score a lot but the other team scores more points on them and they can never win. So the point here is, if you've got good defense and you develop that good defense, this is why we keep pounding on practicing good defense, and it takes some time to do that. Understanding how to trade, if you look at this in a few days, you should be able to grasp this concept that we're putting here. You should be able to buy and sell very easily with the auto protect on and protect yourself. What's going to take you some time to learn is the defensive part of it. Accept the losses, refocus, and do what you've got to do next. And quite honestly, we've had a lot of questions about that, because I said, give us a year, and in a year you're going to be able to be a different trader than you are today. It doesn't mean it's going to take you a year to learn everything. For the most part, like I said, it can take you a few days, and we've got traders sometimes that in a few weeks are trading live and are doing well. But everybody's different. But I do know that because everybody's different, we all have to go ahead and take our time to get to where we want to go. It can take you a few months, and I know that in a year you'll definitely be at a place where you'll understand so much more. You'll see everything in the market that today you just can't see, and that's going to take you a little bit of time and a little bit of practice. But as I said, it's different for everyone, but on an average I've seen 3 months is about where really the light starts coming on fairly bright for most traders. And then for some traders in a few days and in a few weeks they're trading live because they get it. So and the idea is to transition from seeing this to then being able to understand why the market in this case went beyond this level right here, which was at about 72 or so, and it pushed up into this mid 80s up here. And that's because there was another time frame that it was using to search for resistance. Hope this helps you out. We've had a phenomenal 2015, and we expect 2016 to be the same.